The face veil worn by Muslim women has become a highly debatable topic, alongside being a part of numerous controversies across Europe. These considerations have led to its limiting, as well as the banning of the use of the face veil. The point of argument still remains. Were there any possible genuine motives involved in its restriction? And is this legislation a fair approach towards Muslims and their religion? What is the face veil ban? The face veil ban in Europe refers to any clothing item which hides large face portions. For instance, items like helmets and masks, and it also includes items like a burqa or a niqab. Considering the verdict against the use of face veils for Muslims leads to a question towards gender equality and the violation of religious freedom. In the past 3 to 4 years, a complete face veil for Muslim women has received increasingly common legislation throughout Europe. Alongside Denmark, 6 other countries also imposed a complete or partial ban on face veils for Muslim women in any public gatherings. Back in 2018, Netherlands was the latest edition that introduced a ban on partially covered face veils in only hospitals and schools, although public places were excluded. How did it all start? It all started back in 2011, with France being the first European country that introduced a nationwide face veil ban. The legislation declared the wearing of burqa as a sign of oppression and subservience. The legislation was justified with a statement that France is not willing to deprive its women of their identity or any kind of social life that would oppress them behind the veil. The wearing of these veils also posed a security threat by not allowing the individual to be identified easily. France. The government of France is the flag-bearer European country to have imposed a ban on anyone wearing a full face veil in public. A corresponding law was introduced to back this up around 2011. Back in 2004, France had also banned religious clothing in schools, headscarves included. Germany. Bavaria is one of the states of Germany, which has imposed a ban on a complete face veil. It is especially prohibited in the state of driving. The justification statement includes that they belong to an open community where they show their faces. They claim that the wearing of a complete face veil is incompatible with their society's values. Belgium. Back in 2011, a ban on face veil was imposed in the month of July for all public areas. Any offender was subject to a 7-day-long punishment with a jail sentence along with fines. Bulgaria. In 2016, the Bulgarian parliament passed similar legislation that stated to cut off all the women's benefits if they resorted to covering their faces with the veil in public areas. Additionally, they were also subjected to a fine. Austria. Austria imposed a similar law back in 2017. In October, a legislation speculated imposing a hefty fine of 150 euros entitled to a woman if any of her facial features amidst the hairline and the chin were not visible in public places. Britain. Britain's Independence Party proposed a similar face-covering veil ban on Muslim women back in January 2010. The topic of these Islamic veils became a national debate in 2013, as declared by Jeremy Brown, the Home Office Minister. According to Nigel Farage, a former leader of the UKIP, stated that the complete face veil symbolized a divided Britain and signified oppression towards women. They too considered it a source of security threat. Spain and Italy. Spain and Italy imposed a local ban on the face veil as well. However, the legislation was not imposed on a national level in these two countries. In Spain, a small town named Catalonia, along with the city of Barcelona, implemented a ban not only in public places, but in libraries, municipal offices, and even markets. In Lombardy, Italy, wearing a burqa was banned in January 2016. Russia and Norway. Similarly, Russia took a different approach and prohibited a ban on the hijab instead of the face veil. In August 2018, Norway too imposed a ban on niqabs as well as burqas in their school systems. Sweden. Alongside 15 other nations like the Netherlands, Gabon, Congo, and even Cameroon, Sweden too imposed a similar face veil ban. Sweden imposed a ban on burqa in a legislation of 2012. Switzerland. On the contrary, the government of Switzerland has rejected the campaign idea for this ban, while numerous other European countries like Denmark, Bulgaria, Austria, Belgium, and even France have outlawed a complete face veil at public places. Lithuania. Lithuania is also one of the countries to have not had debates about banning the veil. However, there hasn't been any imposed law as of yet. The final verdict. The debate still remains for the struggle of Muslim women who have been facing this dilemma for the past years. Do all those nations really consider it as a freedom of religion along with gender equality? Does wearing a face veil actually has anything to do with terrorism? There are currently about 15 nations in the world that have imposed a complete ban on the burqa, including China, Netherlands, Bulgaria, Tajikistan, and more. However, back in 2003, in Germany, a Muslim teacher was granted permission to wear a scarf in the school premises by the Federal Constitutional Court. Similarly, in February 2013, the full-face religious veil legislation was overturned in the town of Lleida by the Spain Supreme Court. While there has been a flow of biased gestures by the government across Europe, we have also occasionally been able to hear some positive news. Lastly, we hope that one day Muslim women will be able to achieve complete religious freedom, not just in Europe, but hopefully around the globe.